boy, NJ Buckle. Buckle. Trigger warning. Karen's away.
Yo, what's up, players?
Your boy, NJ
God, Jesus, so much has happened. This has been a while. If you can tell by the tone of my voice, I am once again still in a terrible place. You know, the one saving grace though is running is going. I'm getting back into the swing of things. Oh my God, it's so nice, dude. That's been really great, but you know, school is sucking my ass right now, dude. I can't focus at all. Even with the ADHD medication, I still I got other personal shit going on, so it's just I got so much things to think about and anxiety all the time. So it's just I need to see a therapist, and I need to go to therapy, and I'm too fucking scared to ask for help. And I feel even, it's that feeling of even if I go to therapy, it's not going to be a one and done. You got to search for the therapist. You got to tell them everything. And it's so emotionally exhausting to say everything over and over again. It's just fuck. Dude, I need 10 years of therapy. And cognitive behavioral therapy to figure out my shit. What else? Running wise, I did 55 last week. I had to take 2 days in the week off because it was dead week, and I literally had to get caught up on so much shit. And by caught up, it means stare at the Google Docs screen where the black line just keeps beeping up. I don't even know how to describe that. It's the type line. But I just stare at the type line, fucking type in, YouTube, and then just end up watching fucking 3 hours of live musical fucking... It's just God, dude. But yeah, running's been going great. Trying to think. Yeah, just the injury is slowly in terms of speed, because I said, that's the only thing that's holding it back. We're getting closer and closer. I was able to do 3 200s, and I think I got down to 29. So, but then the third one, I definitely felt it. And especially after the workout, I could feel it kind of seize it. It's that is the problem is I understand it's whenever I go lactic, when it starts to pull on the hamstring, how your muscles will pull that when you go lactic. It's literally that exact feeling, except to an extreme amount to where I might pull something or strain it. Because, the muscle's trying to excrete how much water or whatever, or try to absorb everything. So it's trying to fight that and just trying to stay relaxed. But, yeah, dude, these easy days, strength runs are just really paying off, I think, in my aerobic shape. You know what I mean? You don't see it at first just because the fatigue level is so high. You don't even see your fitness in the workouts. And then, after about that first 2 weeks, it's now it's dude, yesterday I ran 16 and a half miles it was nothing. And I think that's actually the most I've ever ran in my life. In one shot is 16 and a half. So paced my dad and brother in the 5K in the morning. Dude, it's so sad. My brother mogs me and everything, dude. But he's I guess some context, my brother's autism. So it's so funny because he couldn't he's just getting into running, but he's really good. But he couldn't conceptualize what a warm-up was, so he just started racing me and my dad when we were stepping out the door to warm up. It was hilarious. And then we started the race, and dude, he did his first mile 6:30, and then his second mile he just completely demolished us, and I think he genuinely ran like a 6:15. And again, he's in like middle school, and he's been running for like less than a year. So it's kind of crazy. And today's his first track practice. So that's a good little intro. But like, he like died at the end, and I think he got like a cramp, and just didn't understand like what VO2 max is. So like, we ended up passing him. My dad was so close to running sub 7, like 6 minute miles for the whole thing. But the end of the 5K was so weird because usually like with the 8K, you come back on that straightaway from Shamrock, from NATO Parkway, and you come straight back and then just cross the line. But this one, for the 5K, you like go out, like for the last 0.1, you go out a block and then come back a block and then finish. So he like started his kick. Like I thought he was like going to have the greatest surge of his life. No, but he like started his kick like, 900 meters early. So that was a little interesting. But he did a great job, especially because he's been dealing with injuries. He has like a full-time job, so he can only really run like quality 3 times a week. So considering that, I've been trying to train him as best as I can, but the problem is like, if you have no aerobic base, you can only do so much to like train, right? Like, my mom's boyfriend, he ran like a 1:30 half marathon. Like, and I think all he does is run like easy mileage. Like, I think all he does is run like 60 miles a week. But he ran like 6 minute miles the whole time. I was like, holy shit. I don't even know if I could do that. I don't know. But yeah, he did a great job. It's my brother's birthday. That was cool. And then, yeah, he's 13 now, which is so funny. Like in my head, he's like still like 10, and I'm still like, to myself, I feel like I'm 16 years old. I swear to God, dude, like, I'm not ready to be an adult. It's so like, fuck. It's just like, it literally seems like I'm the only one that like isn't growing up, and it's really frustrating. Like everyone just like seems to like be able to take these responsibilities like it's easy, and I still can barely like ask a teacher for help because I feel like I'm like an idiot if I ask for help. I don't know where that comes from. I genuinely have this like fear of asking for help, and I don't know why. I think part of it, if I had to guess, there's, the thing with like me, because I'm crazy and shit, is that you have to like block it out when you're like dealing with like normal people, like people that you don't know, like where you have to be cordial. And I think that like having to be cordial is, I think I feel genuine pain doing it because you can't be yourself. And like the thing is like when you're ADHD like me, to like process and to be able to like exist in the world, you have to act like that. Like people don't understand, it's like when I'm like impulsively thinking out loud and like, doing stupid shit, that's me like those are my thoughts. I'm acting out my thoughts so I can process them like physically because my brain can't communicate a certain way. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's literally how I like process shit. So like when you take that away, it's like literal pain and hell, because forget about just that part, being able to process it, but like also just as like a coping mechanism for like anxiety or not getting enough fucking dopamine, so you got to do something stimulating. Like, so like there's a lot of that. And I always know, dude, like the moment that you find out that someone realizes that you're no longer typical and you're atypical, like, dude, that like moment where like you go from being like a normal guy, this was so funny. It's like, I've made so many friends that way. Like, and I've had long-lasting friends where I start out like this cordial, chill guy. Like, I see it in myself where I'm like the most cordial, chill guy. You know what I mean? From the outside, I don't look crazy. And then, I start trusting the person so that I'm able to actually be myself around them. And then it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm all crazy and shit. And it's really funny to like see that shift. But yeah, running is going great, dude. I wonder, is it actually 8:40 right now? Okay, there's going to be a train in 6 minutes, so I think I'd be aight. As JMO would say. But yeah, this week's training looks crazy, bro. This week's kind of like the last week to get in the swing of things before spring break, so it kind of makes sense. Although I'm like ready to train over spring break. I'm kind of locked in. Like, the one thing that I'm not worried about right now is running. The one thing I'm worried about right now is school. And I know I just have to get through this week, but like I said, it's like I'm going through shit right now. And the problem is the shit that I'm going through has no resolution. So, you know, and someone like me with no resolution, even if I'm at acceptance with testing. Okay, I'm back. I don't know where we left off. This is 2 to 3 days post, whenever I recorded that. God, dude, finals. I mean, I've been grinding everything, dude. It's just like I just don't even want to talk about it, bro. I'm definitely doing a little bit better. So that good at Lee, you know what I'm saying? What else? Oh yeah, had another workout. We did. Oh my God, why can't I think what we did? Was today? No, today's Tuesday. So we did a. Oh my God, why can't I think right now? I did. Oh yeah, it was mile breakdowns. In the format of 400, 400, 800, which I kind of liked. It was just very, very intense, and I was very tired from my 10-mile run on Monday. God, is that going to be like a motif? But yeah, I was pretty tired from Monday, because Monday I also was tired, and I kind of pushed it. Yeah, no, I low key like warmed up into it. And then like the first set was extremely tough just because it's just the speed. And also like, you know, we've been doing a lot of like longer rest stuff. This was way shorter rest. It was like 70 seconds rest. It was 70 seconds, then 145 seconds. And, then when the set was complete, it was 3 to 4 minutes. So, I ended up doing 5 sets of mile breakdown. I was doing the 800s and like, I think the fastest we got was like 220 something, 220 range. And the slowest was like 230. So somewhere in that range. And then the 400s, I don't know why, dude. I'm kind of upset that they were this slow, but like I kept clicking off 71, 70 for all of the first 400s. I don't know why. It was almost like I was like just in the rhythm of that for that day. And then the second rep would always be a 68 or a 69. Pause. So, you know, at least I know I can maintain that, you know. In the mile breakdowns. Like for me, that's a very speed intensive workout. And of course, every single time, like I cooked on the 800. The 800 actually, for how much I hate 800s, it was the best 800s I've ever felt. Because you slow down for that, you slow down to like 3K pace. So it's a little more doable. You know, you're running like, you know, mid to low 70s, which I'm a little more comfortable with. Whereas like, you know, running, you know, a 68 off of, you know, 70-ish seconds rest is hard. You know what I mean? That, like I said, that borders the VO2 side. Looking back, I definitely could have done 6 or 7 sets, but I would have been absolutely fried today, and then I would have had to, like, you know, not be able to run as much mileage today. I'm planning on running 70 minutes today. Again, that's the plan. I don't know, like, always with me, like, if I like go through periods where like psychologically I don't feel like I want to train, then usually something's going on like with my body, because I usually always want to like hit it hard. So I always know like I learned that at the beginning of the year when I like you can't just always push through it, because if you keep pushing through it and thinking you're mentally weak, what ends up happening is you're actually just pushing past your genetic limit at where you're at, and then you're gonna just injure yourself. So that's like my willingness to train right now, like as we speak in the moment, I'm like, fuck that. It's funny, I caught up a lot on sleep. I think I got like 12 hours of sleep. I think there was something, because I did like my last like kind of like final project thing last night, and that kind of like, it was like metaphorical for like the last like insanely stressful thing I have to do for finals. There is one more like project I got to do for biology that's due this weekend, but like that's not going to be that hard, at least I don't think. And I got to do one like extra credit assignment, but there's no like, you know what I mean? There's no like test, or there's no, so that's kind of nice. But yeah, so the 70 minutes might be a grind today. I think I'll just run slower. I've been running too fast. I mean, I got a lot of good quality miles in the last 2 days. I think this week or today run a little bit slower, get the 70 minutes in. But yeah, yesterday ended up only being an 8-mile day, but it was like high intensity. Like, I'm kind of glad I didn't do 6 or 7 sets, because I definitely could have done 6 or 7 sets, but like I was the only person that went up to 5. Actually, no, I'm lying. Nick and Luke went up to 5 as well. I didn't do the 200s. Dude, this fucking hamstring thing is pissing me the fuck off. It's like, I can feel it, like, whenever I like, open up my stride and I'm, like, trying to, like, quote-unquote kick or, like, surge and, like, try to put force on the ground. That's where I really feel it, especially on the turns of, like, the 200 mark, where you, like, turn that curve. Dude, I feel it, and it's just, like, I don't want it to be, like, randomly that thing's gonna, like, pull, and then all my training is done. Like, I'm done. And, like, I already don't really respond to 200 meters. Like, I very rarely will get much benefit out of those, because I'm just not fast. I don't get much out of the fast training. I get a lot out of high volume, intense volume. So that's why I did an extra set instead of doing the 200s, and I'm like standing there and I'm like, yeah, I could have done 2 extra sets, but then what? What would be the fallout after that? You know what I mean? That's the problem, is like, yeah, I could have done the 2 sets, and then what? The next day, my legs are going to be so dead, I'm going to be barely able to run 60 minutes. Like, what's the point of that? You know what I mean? And I'm already going to get most of my gains from just the overall volume, right? The intensity is to hit the intensity. Once you've hit the intensity, you're done. That's what I'm starting to realize, is like a little bit of less emphasis on the hard days, in the sense that like most of your gains are just going to come from all the aerobic mileage that you're accumulating, and the intensity is to hit the specific goal, right? So do the volume you need to do to get the adaptation of lactate threshold, and don't try to push don't try to like push it into like, I got to max out this day, when you're already maxing out in a weekly perspective, right? So it's adapting to that. Because the old me would have been like disappointed in myself. And when I say the old me, I mean like from a month ago. But the old athlete of me, without the new realization, would have like done the 6th and 7th set just to prove to my own self, not even to other people, but to prove to my own self that I wasn't mentally weak, and that I could like do another set. Just be like, no, you can do another one. It's such an overcompensation, right? It's so funny, like running is so healthy for me, but also it's so dangerous, right? It sucks too, because of course I can't be like a sub 4 miler and genuinely people will like respect me. So like that's what's so funny, is like attaching my self-worth to something that I'm not even like good at. Like literally a high school girl has a faster 5K time than me right now, is like, you know what I mean? It's just, I gotta come up with better coping mechanisms than that. You know, and that's what I've learned, at least with this, is like just enjoy running. You know what I mean? It's that like, it's that wantingness to be obsessed, but it's really you're trying to love the game. And that's where I'm like, you know, changing it a little bit, is not trying to like everything be this like, you know, obsession, and try to make it more like, no, I love this. I want to do this. I'm enjoying it right now. And then that kind of makes it like, you know, and especially for someone like me, if I'm not enjoying training, then probably something's going wrong. Either I'm not sleeping, I'm not getting enough like nutrients, right? Like that's another big problem I've been running into, is I've just like, I don't know what's been going on, but I just can't eat. Like, and it's not like purposely. Now, part of it, one, is the amount of calories I need to consume to like be at homeostasis is like, you know, 4,000, 5,000. Because I walk a lot. I'm already naturally a very active person, like always moving around and shit. And then obviously on top of the running, I constantly burn calories. So the problem with that though is that like, you know, my caloric needs is like 4,000-ish or more calories a day. So like, you know, I'm on like a bulking phase for like bodybuilders, right? That, you know, and I don't even have like the mass to hold that. It's just, that's stupid, but it's just funny. Like, cause like I'll try to like, you know, cause the anabolic window or whatever, but I'll go right after the workout, probably like 20 minutes after my cool down, walk over to the dining hall, try to get some food in. And then like literally after like my first like, you know, like after like the first like 10 bites, I'm done. Like I can't eat anymore. I feel gross. I feel like I'm going to throw up. Like it's weird. I mean, my guess is my stomach has also shrunk. But like, I honestly don't know. You know, which means drink your calories and find more calorically dense things. And it's just like, you know, that's the other part, is like if you eat healthy, the problem is eating healthy food, you get full really easily. And it's also very fibrous, right? That's another problem I've been running into, is just like there's so many things that like disrupt my gut, which is kind of funny. Like, not like in running, it's after running, dude. Like I just like, there's that feeling of just like, you know, when your like gut just feels like, you know what I mean? Like there's like a jalapeno in the middle of your gut. That's what it feels like. Or digestive tract, however you want to phrase it. But like, I feel like that like after workouts, not during. During, I'm fine. I actually can take in food really well before running. I've never really tried it with races. I'm sure I'd probably be fine, but yeah, it's just frustrating. And it's like even like protein bars and stuff have like become like, I don't want to eat this anymore. It could also be the ADHD medication, because like I don't know like how much of like the motivation of eating is related to dopamine, and like if you're already like set on dopamine, then you're like, you know what I mean? Like you don't really want to eat because you're not getting any pleasure out of it. Like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. But that's a whole thing. I got to get back into my passion for like coaching and physiology. I've been kind of slacking on that. I don't know why. I think the reason why is because I had to step away from the craft for so long that it's just like, and then also it's like, also when you're in the middle of the craft too, it's kind of hard to like since now we're like in season and stuff, it's hard to like think about coaching and stuff, because then it makes me neurotic. I'm just finding, you know, like I'm starting to realize how neurotic of a person I am, that it's like, it really sucks, because, you know, any decision I make is like overthink. And it's like, I don't even know how to describe it, but I can see all the possibilities of everything going wrong. And it's like, you know, because a lot of people like think that that's like a, like that should be like a pitiful thing or whatever, or like sad that someone's like always thinking negatively because, you know what I mean? But it's really, in its own way, it's a defense mechanism because that means when something works out, it pays off so much more, right? Or like if you always assume something bad is going to happen, right, then you're ready for the bad thing to happen. So it's not necessarily like this like sad depression thing. It's literally a way to like cope with your life. So it's something that I have to work my way out of, right? And also like the overthink thing in itself is like a processing thing because the ADHD, right, is like I have to be neurotic sometimes about things because that's the only way I'm able to hyper focus on something is if it's clear and specific. Like it's stuff like that. I do like I saw like a video the other day of like when like people finish their sentences or whatever, and then you like already know what they're gonna say, or like that literally happens to me all the time. Like someone will have a conversation with me, and I already know the next 3 minutes of their conversation. It's like really weird. It's funny. Like, oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I Am Music dropped. I thought it, like, dude, that's not even my style of music, but I thought it was good. Or at least, like, this is the time where I wanted an album like that to come out. I'm actually kind of liking the Kendrick hate. It's actually based. Like, it is one of the few things that I disagree with Kendrick is, like, this whole, like, selectively shitting on people, you know, is kind of hypocritical. And I saw the Needle drop, Anthony Fantano, internet's busiest music nerd. Shut the fuck up. I am. Guarantee you I got more fucking hours than that motherfucker. And we'll see. I feel like, I don't know. He might have more hours than me. He probably does. It's his job. But it's also my job, kind of. But yeah, so... yeah, like the whole Kendrick thing, like I definitely do disagree with Kendrick. Like, why are you only going after Drake? Like, and like, because I've been kind of defending Kendrick a little bit with this, like, you know, saying like, you know, like, oh, well, Drake is really a metaphor for like the industry, but then he's literally collabing with like the most like I don't want to call Playboi Carti like a toxic masculine figure, but like literally like. Some of the bars in that, like, it's not respectful towards women at all. Like, that's what I'm, like, so confused with Kendrick. And then even, like, in his interviews, he says, like, you know, hip-hop is an art form. And then you go to Playboi Carti where he goes, pop out, and it has, like, 40 sound engineers making all the beats for him, and then he just, like, fucking scats all over the beats. Like, that, I don't know if that, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. But at the same time, I did kind of like his features. I don't know. I thought that was a little weird. I thought the album had so much potential. Like, I thought all the beats, like, production-wise, it was really good. I did think, like, there was no cohesion to it at all. It literally was, like, a mixtape and just a bunch of random songs in an album. There also wasn't, like, a lot of, like, really, really good songs. There was, like, three, like, there are 3 songs that are going to get, like, probably, like, 200 million plus plays, but like the rest of them were pretty like you're gonna forget about them in a week, and then you'll come back and you'll be like, oh, that was a solid song. You know what I mean? The problem is like I feel like, you know, Playboi Carti is like one of those artists that like to me is a vibe artist. You know what I mean? There's a lot of artists like this. It's like a new type of like genre where like the only and it's this kind of space too in like the alternative scene with like guitars and shit where they just make songs that are like supposed to match a specific vibe, right? And it's not really like trying to convey a message, or it's just more like, you know, this is what you're gonna like fly into Miami, you know, with your entourage music, you know, like literally, like there, like I just feel like that's like, that's how I see Playboi Carti is more of like a vibe kind of a thing, right? Like workout music or something. I don't know, dude. But it is I don't know. I just thought the album was sporadic, but I mean there were some good songs on there, and I just like I think what is cool about Kendrick, at least with this, is like the old him would have probably been scared to collab with guys like Playboi Carti. Like maybe that's like the whole point of it, right? Is that he's trying to have influence on artists that necessarily wouldn't collab with him because of the whole, what he's been preaching, right? But the whole point is that he wants to collab with them to kind of like change the narrative. Maybe, I don't know. And the whole OK Llama, I Am All of Us, and then he's featuring on an album that's I Am Music. I don't know. Kind of sus. What else? Oh, yeah. And then, like, people somehow forget about this, but on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, like, he has Kodak Black, a convicted, I don't know the details of his case, but, I mean, he's convicted for sexual assault. And he is, like, the most, like, you know what I mean? Not, like, stereotypical, like, gangster, you know what I mean? And the thing is like, he had him feature on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers where he was, like, preaching, and I think the whole point, right, is to, like, and I disagree or not with Kendrick, right? Like, I think the message Kendrick is trying to convey is, like, to try to bring people like that in to the community and try to help them convey. I mean, my favorite Kodak Black verse is off of Silent Hill, dude. I don't know, for some reason that song brings, like, I always am on the verge to tears. There's something about it where it's like, I talked about this actually before, but there's something about, like, that style with, like, the instrumental and everything where it's like you're at peace. And it's like, I've never heard, I've really only heard it from Kendrick before, but it's like you're, like, at peace. And that's what that song kind of sounds like to me, is like, it's very honest. And I think, like, the whole point, right, is to bring in artists that wouldn't necessarily be seen as, like, artists straight up. And then you're actually, like, bringing them together. I mean, like, if you look at GNX, right, he has all these, like, artists that, like, no one knows, who are kind of like, if you see them in videos and stuff, they're not like Kendrick, right, at all. And I think the whole point is he's trying to create, like, he's trying to take people that, are in the, kind of like toxic masculine, rapping, and then he's trying to basically influence them into making songs and music that's more layered, deeper than just materialism. It is, like, how I see it, right? But it is very interesting that he goes after Drake in that way. That definitely is an interesting thing, because that's just, like, morally wrong. Of course you can always hide behind the fact that it's like, it's just a song kind of a thing, but like, when you really do think about it, like, Meet the Grams is really messed up. You know what I mean? And, like, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like, it's a very, to me, like, They Not Like Us and all that stuff, it's like a very sellout thing. Now, what I will say is the Super Bowl, I didn't think it was sellout at all. You know what I mean? And, like, the fact that he had self-awareness in it was so great. But I just think, like, I don't really know what's going on with Kendrick and what message he's trying to convey, because it does at times feel conflicted, right? Because it's like, you're featuring on the same album where there's literally, it's one of the funniest lines of the album, but it's like, I'ma give a hoe a fee. I'ma give a hoe a fee. And it's just like, when you're featuring on that, it's like, come on. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And then, like, I remember there's this one line in Peekaboo, which there's probably, like, more, there's metaphor behind it. That's me steel manning that argument. But, like, he's like, I slap my thumb where at. Like, and it's like, okay. I mean, like, what what are we doing here? Like, that's not, like, a cool bar at all. So it's very interesting. Like but yeah, I'm very interested to see how the Kendrick movie comes out. My guess is it's probably not going to be very good. I mean, it's his first movie or whatever that he's going to be a part of. My guess is there will be a soundtrack for it, which will be pretty cool. He seems like he would be a great actor. The only thing I'm just concerned about is the fact that it's a comedy. And if you've never dipped into that space before, like comedy in movies is way different than like stand-up or like in music. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's really hard because you have to edge that line of being self-aware of like the jokes that you're making and then also not being self-aware, like not being meta in them as well. So it'll be very interesting. But yeah, he's got a lot of stuff going on. I mean, there might be a GNX Deluxe. There's going to be a soundtrack on that movie, and he's probably going to feature in the movie. He just did the Super Bowl, and he just featured on 3 Cardi songs, and he's probably going to feature on even more stuff. Right? And like, dude, this might be like one of the biggest years in music for the decade. Straight up. What is it, 2025? So 2025 is like the 2020s. This might literally be the biggest year in music because you had Mac Miller drop posthumously. You had Kendrick drop literally an album worth of diss tracks that were all like Grammy level award winning songs. Like if you went to any other rapper and gave them that song, it would be their biggest song, except he did that 5 or 6 times. Then he released another whole album of bangers. Then we had the Super Bowl, which is like the first Super Bowl where there's hidden meaning and metaphors and messages throughout the entire thing. You know, I Am Music dropped. Like literally the meme, Playboy Cardi's never gonna dropped. I don't know what's going on with Kanye. Apparently he's supposed to drop that Bully album, but I'm confused. Like, is it just going to get released on YouTube or is he actually going to release it on Spotify? Like, what's the deal with that? I heard like one clip of it, like, cause there was like this podcast interview and he was like, they had like a song playing in the beginning and it sounded like amazing, but I don't know. I really don't know. I was actually listening to like a lot of Sunday service performances yesterday. It's such a great idea, dude. If I was going to be religious, that would really draw me in, dude. Is like having like those like musical performances and that's church. Like that'd be sick, dude. Like I got to start that shit. You just have a circle of musicians and then everyone else just sings along, claps along, dances. Like that would be sick, dude. And you just go through like an album every week. You pick an album and you go through all the songs or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. That'd be really cool. What else? What else? Oh yeah, some 15-year-old just broke 4. Ruth something, like, dude, like, what, like, oh yeah, and, Hendrigan, or, I don't know, Nike Nationals, she runs 15:13, are you kidding me, dude? Now, a little context, her dad was an NCAA BYU All-American, and her mom also was, like, a runner. Like, I think people sometimes forget about the fact that, like, genetics play a huge role, right? But yeah, wow, what an amazing accomplishment. Holy shit, dude. Like, it's just like, dude, just like every record is getting broken. Like, I feel like, and people, like, don't understand what I'm saying because they just immediately meme out and, like, don't take in what I'm saying. But I'm saying, like, track and cross country is getting onto that, like, competitive level. Like, you know, in basketball where like to be Division I in basketball you have to literally be a state champion averaging 20 plus points a game. It's going to be that level of like where like for you to even walk on Division I for a track and field program and distance running, you're going to have to be a state champion or a multiple-time district champion and make top 10 at state and run sub 15 for a guy. You're going to have to be like a 1445K runner, have a state champion, or place like 2 years in a row top 10 to walk on at like a top 20 program. 100%. There's no way. Like, dude, it's like insane. It's like I can't even like fathom it. And it's kind of like I said, it's like how hard it is to be an NBA player, right? Right? I feel like it's way harder than it is to be an American Olympian in distance running. Genuinely. I think it's way harder to make the NBA if you look at the actual percentages. And so it's like, the other thing too, like to remember is like with like basketball is way more people play basketball than track. And so like as track gains popularity, which it has because of just media coverage, I think, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting how running turns out. Now, the other thing, too, is, like, just because I think this is the other thing, too, is, like, yes, people like me can be sad because we're not talented and then we're just not even going to be competitive. But the other thing to consider is that means other opportunities open up. If running becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and all these world records are getting broken and it becomes, like, this more competitive thing, it's like the NBA where you have tons of career opportunities and tons of opportunities to actually, one, make money, and two, like have a career in it, right? Like maybe coaching jobs get paid way more, right? Maybe like media coverage becomes a way bigger deal. You know, you got Grand Slam track coming up, you know, that could be huge. I genuinely think there should be like the NBA has, which is like you have city teams and you have like a regular season and you show up to a track and it's literally like you have all the track events and each of them are competing for team points and that's how you do it. And then basically you get signed to that, right? And you're in a pro league. And what this does too is it kind of puts more pressure on the athletes to actually run consistently. It would take a long time for it to be, but then what you do is you have a draft class like in the NBA, like straight out of college, right? If you went straight out of, or if you're in college, right, there's a draft class for track and field runners. It's like for the second pick in the draft, we want this thrower from Northern Kentucky University, something like that, right? Then you could also have, right, where like you have other runners that are just straight amateur, right? And they're just developing their skills, but they're faster than everyone else and they didn't go to college and then they go straight to the league. Done. And then you just have pro contracts and you travel around America or even the world and you show up to the track. You know, you have ESPN broadcasting, you have announcers and stuff, and that's like how it works. And the problem is that just takes so much investment, and it would also take like probably a decade to ever see like it rise in that type of popularity, because like it's like basketball is so big to where like we said, like the NBA is bigger than the Olympics for basketball, whereas in track and field, you know, the Olympics is way bigger than its own pro league, and part of that is the money, but two is also the popularity, right? Which means you have to be more popular than the Olympics, right? In the terms of like people keep coming back to you, right? Right, because obviously the Olympics, just because of how much like countries it attracts, right? But it's more about, are you getting frequent fans to pop in? And the way you do that, right, is you have city teams, and then people want to like see how their city team is doing. Also, track and field is one of like the best sports I feel like to bet on. Like there's so much unpredictability, but also predictability to it. You know what I mean? Like you look at like the 1500 final this year in the Paris Olympics. Like imagine like you'd have races like that all the time in like a league meet. Also, it adds a new type of like variation where like, you know, professional athletes are going to have to train like they're in college, because they're going to have like a race, you know, like once a week or what, you know what I mean? They won't have 82 games, that's for sure. But, you know, they might have a track meet once every week to 2 weeks, right? And what you do is you'd like stagger each competition, so it wasn't just like everyone was getting worked to death. but you'd somehow figure out a way to where like you'd have two cities go against each other, and then something like that. I don't know. I think that's a great idea. The problem is just, the level of marketing and the amount of time it would take to build an empire that would be able to create that is a long time. It's decades. Like if that were even an idea that would be able to be possible, it probably wouldn't be in my lifetime. That's how long it would take to develop it. So like, that's what I have to say about that. Kendrick, you texted me at 3:00 in the morning. I'm feeling like I'm falling. Life. One of these lies will make these wrong. That is so out of key. One of these lies will make these wrong. I don't know why I'm out of key right now. Dude, bro, why y'all hate me, bro? Why do you hate me? Why did you push me away? Is it because of the things I say? I don't know, bro. Bruh. I don't know. I'm not saying anything right now. Hold on. Doing a little digging. Let's not do that. Shoo, shoo. Yeah, I don't know, bro. And I might do a show a day. Once a lame, always. Bro, when is the Kendrick Tiny Desk concert gonna drop? Holy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be so sick. And for some reason, he doesn't do it. Like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. And it really is hurting my feelings, Kendrick, that you're doing this to me. Whatever, man. I get it. He's got things to do. Ooh, new track All Access. Top-ranked NCAA sprinter who was banned from NCAA champs. God. See, I keep saying Bully full album, but I don't know if it's just a leak. That's actually it. What else is new, bro? I feel like I only talk about depressing things. My bad, bro. I don't have a therapist, so you guys are going to have to put up with it. Yeah, dude. Really, like, really just in the, what do you call it? The unknown zone right now. Spring break will be nice because me and my best friend, we're going to go up to Bend. And I low-key forgot that I'm going to have to train over spring break, so that'll be interesting. He's going to have to bike next to me, which means we might be able to get some Rocky content. I feel bad for him, though, because, like, he hates having to bike, like, 1 mile an hour next to me. So that'll be interesting. I won't force him to run with me on, like, the easy days, but, like, there is one workout where I got to do, like, 7 by mile. Yeah, I might want him for that one. Play some music or something. But yeah, that should honestly be a good de-stressor, you know, get out of like my own head with what's going on in my life. And yeah, I just like, dude, whoa, man, I overthink everything. You know, I need to get a job, bro. I need to get a job. I need to lock in on school next term. I need so much stuff. I need to go to the Disabilities Resource Center. I need to like get that figured out. You know, I gotta learn to communicate what I need. I'm like so scared of asking for help. I don't know why. It sucks. I need to go for a run today. For some reason, I don't want to run right now. Why do I not want to run? I like running. What the hell? I'll wait. Maybe it's because I haven't had enough coffee yet. I don't know. I'm joking, but I think my body's just tired. I'm actually not that sore, weirdly. I was sore like the second I got up, and now it's gone. So I don't know what the hell. Oh, man. Damn, the river kind of looking muddy, bro. I wonder if it's going to rain today. Who knows? Who knows? Let's see. Is there anything else I can talk about that's worth talking about? Yeah, man, I'm really excited. Like, I'm ready to compete. I'm ready to run fast, and I'm ready to like just grind, man. I'm so done being ass at everything. So, at least having something that I'm passionate and that I love doing for now, is great. You know, spring break's going to be fun. I just feel like I can't even look forward to it till I get to it because of just school stress. But I'm just like, I'm ready for great things to happen. And if not great, then fine. You know what I mean? Like, if I've learned anything is like, you can kind of come back from anything terrible in your life. 'Cause I'd say right now, what I've been going through the last 2 weeks is probably like one of the harder things I've had to go through, just with school and personal life shit. So, and you hear me, I'm still alive and I'm still running. So, you know, even with all those things that, hold me back, or if I was being a motivational speaker, hold you back, most of the time you're going to be fine because this is literally the best time in world history to be alive. So, you know, even if you're rock bottom, your life is still pretty freaking good. I forget, but when we were at Ramadan night, one of the speakers like said something about how, like, you know, if you don't have shoes if you don't have shoes, look at someone who doesn't have feet or it doesn't have a leg. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of like, you know, especially in America, you just take for granted all these like little support systems that are in place to literally make life better than like the richest person in the world in the dark ages. You know what I mean? Like, so, and it's almost like, it's that like human necessity to always want to fix something. My dad always says, like, what if there is no problem to solve? And I'm kind of like in that phase of my life where, like, you know, I'm always trying to like overthink and try to fix something, but, you know, maybe there is nothing to fix. Maybe it's just is. And I feel like a lot of things are like that, is just, you know, simply just being instead of just trying to like be everything. I also remember, like, I remember hearing a story of like, you know, like famous like Buddhist like monks or whatever. They would have like these people coming to them like to be enlightened, and it's like, if you're coming to me, you're not enlightened. Like, your enlightenment has always been there. Like just accepting life and just going through the in and outs of emotions of life and just experiencing life and, you know, pursuing your goals and stuff, that in itself is enlightenment, because you're accepting the balance, the yin and yang of everything. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah. So yeah, I'll see y'all with another one. Hope you guys enjoy this. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing here. Hopefully in the future when I've like made it or something, this like helps, because I feel like there's not enough honest athletes, or even honest like just people in general saying real shit. Instead it's all this fake shit. So I hope this is real for y'all. Adios.